So we have some data that we're working with, a spreadsheet file that we have other people working on, but there's a tab here that says don't delete me, and we do not want anyone else to delete this. Now, this could happen as an accident. It could happen obviously intentionally if people are like, hey, I don't need this data anymore, not just hiding it, I'm going to delete it, and you're like, no, don't do that. Well, I'm going to share with you how to deal with this in a number of weird ways, because there is one big way where we cannot and sort of should not prevent exactly people from deleting a tab. And this is sort of one of those weird things about Google where you can do almost anything, you just can't do everything. I cannot give access to someone or edit access to someone and have them not be able to delete a tab. But I'll actually show you how we can do that and a few workarounds for this exact situation. So one interesting thing is we could give access to someone else, and they have edit access, and they're going to be able to edit and do everything about a sheet that we want them to. They can edit the text here, they can edit the text on this tab, but on this tab we don't want them to do anything. Well, actually, we would love them to be able to edit it but not delete the sheet, right? But this is the one weird thing, is we can add a protect sheet, which is don't edit anything on this sheet. And I'm going to set these permissions, and I'm going to say it's only me that can edit this particular range, so they cannot. And now when I switch over to them, I see this lock on the tab called Don't Delete Me. I can't edit anything here, and for the purposes of this video, I can't delete. Look, the delete is grayed out. I can only duplicate, copy. Literally, I cannot rename, I cannot change the color, I cannot hide, I cannot view comments, move it, I can't do anything to it. Now, that is the best way to allow an editor to a spreadsheet file, but not allow them to delete this particular tab. But unfortunately, sometimes we want them to be able to edit it, but not delete it. So if people have a habit of deleting this tab, I recommend at the very first blush of this to go to extensions app script and create a backup copy. And here we're going to write just a few lines of script, follow along, or in the description below I will actually put a link to this sheet with all of the code that we're going to write in this video. So we're just going to write backup as the function name. We're going to say variable ss equals spreadsheet app.getActive spreadsheet, parentheses, actually no parentheses, variable s sheet id equals ss.getID. Now what this is doing is just getting this ID from this URL. If we wanted to, we could just copy paste that if we want, but we want to do it programmatically and get it on any sheet we have. And ultimately we need three things. We need the sheet ID, we need to have the new name of it that we're going to back it up or copy it, and where it's going to go, the backup folder. So let's create a backup name right now, and it's just this particular spreadsheet.getName, and we're going to add a space called backup, space, and a word called backup with a space in quotes and plus new date. Why is that? Is so that we know which date, when we look at all of the list of files, we know when this was backed up. This new date is just today. It's just going to put in a string of text that says this is the date, today. And each day that we create this backup, it's going to have a new date. So these will all be individual files with individual names. And we need to know where we're going to go. So we're going to create a backup folder. Now, you can create this outside of this script. Just create a folder in your Google Drive so it finds it. But we need to go find it. So we go Drive App, Get Folders. Sorry, it needs a capital A. Drive App.get folders by name. And the name that I chose was just backup. But you can choose any name here. Don't change it right here. You have to change it in that folder name so that this finds it. You will get an error if you cannot find it. And there's a way that you can create this folder in the script if it doesn't find it. But if you want to learn that, go check out Master Spreadsheet Automation, the course over on Udemy that I do, that it goes way deeper into code. Now here's one weird trick, is we have to put next. Why do we have to do that? Is because this drive app.get folders by name is actually a search. It's saying go and search for every folder called backup. Then it's going to have a list of those, and you have to put .next so that it iterates through them. Now in our case, we only have one folder, so this .next is just going to get the very first folder named backup. And now the very last line of code we have to do for this backup, drive app.get file by ID We have the ID already up here, sheet ID. We just use the variable sheet ID. Then make copy. And in here, we need two things. We need the name and where it's going to go. So we say backup name, comma, backup folder. There we go. So let's save this. And once we save it, we can run it. And once we run it, it's going to ask us to authorize the very first time we run it. So let's just run it. It needs us to authorize it. Select all, continue. So right now in our backup folder, we have one file. It has backed up this sheet. However, we do not want to have to come into this file, go to the app script, and hit run every time. So let's automate it. Over on the left side, click triggers. Once that loads, over on the right side, click add trigger. Choose which function to run. If we have multiple functions here, we'll have to choose it from the drop-down menu. We'll say backup. The event source is not from the spreadsheet, but actually time-driven. Once you select time-driven, you have the option of hours or day. We're just going to do this once a day, and we're going to do it at night, 9 to 10 p.m. after the workday. Click save. If you haven't already, it will ask you to authorize at this moment. Once we've authorized, our trigger exists, and it's going to happen now every day. If you want to edit it, come back to triggers, click the edit trigger icon, the little tiny pencil on the right side, and you can edit it. You can change the time of day. You can change how often it is. You can change it to every hour. You can change it to every month if you want. Different times for different purposes, or hit those three dots and click delete trigger. For my purposes, I'm going to delete that right now. So we've edited this app script. We have a nice little backup. So even if somebody deletes it, we can get that data back. However, let me give you another around, which is depending on your data, depending on what you're doing here, you may want to create another spreadsheet file that does something that sends the data back here. And for this, we're going to use two import range functions or formulas. So let's say we have this data on this sheet. We want to work with it and create a dashboard or create some data here, but we don't want the machinations to show up here for someone to delete. And we want to make it super easy for them to be able to, for us, to be able to come back and restore this if need be. So what we're going to do is going to create a brand new sheet with sheet.new. I'm going to call this data crunch. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Go back to our spreadsheet file. We need the data that we're going to get. Copy that whole URL. And we can come in here and do import range equals import range. And import range, we need a URL. That's the whole spreadsheet URL. Don't need this GID, but we do need the range. So our range was data, let's say data A through F. So in quotes, data, all caps, exclamation part, A:(F). And now we're going to have to give it access. We are the editor of sheets, so we can. Now we have our data from the other tab. So we can actually call this data in here, call this crunch, let's say, and we can do something with this. Now we can't edit this data, right? We can only get it from the other page. But let's say we have all of this data here is our data crunch. We've done something to it. Let's actually do it in black and white. We've done something to it. We've figured it out. We've added machinations. Now we want to get this crunch back into don't delete me. This don't delete me could be formatted, highlighted, anything, but we just want to get that data back. So we're going to do another import range. Import range, we need that URL spreadsheet, and the range string is going to be crunch. Think A:(G, let's say. And exactly like we did before, we need to allow access. So now we have the same data, the same stuff, showing on this sheet where we don't want this person to, or anyone to be able to delete this data or delete this tab. Now, if they delete the data, actually they can't even, look, I'm trying to delete the data. We have to go over to this other spreadsheet file and delete the data. If we want to delete like these 3 lines, go back to there and they're deleted, right? So we've protected the data in another spreadsheet file with that double import range. Now I want to go on to another option, which is a sort of option where we don't necessarily protect our data, but we do allow someone to know what they just did was a problem. So we're going back into AppScript and we're saying function, oops, you deleted me. And we're going to create a function here. We're going to use the change type. We're going to add an event or E here as a variable. We can say event or any variable here. And we're going to create a trigger that triggers anytime you change the spreadsheet. And we're going to get from that a change type. A change type is going to be just how did someone change it? Did they add a line? Did they move something? Did they add a tab? Did they delete a tab? The weird thing is that removing a tab, or rather deleting a tab, is called something else, which is remove grid. But we're going to get the active sheet here, e.source.getActive spreadsheet. Actually, we want active get name. We're going to get the name of wherever and we can log just to see the different change types. But I'm going to tell you here, if change type is equal to, in quotes, remove underscore grid, that's when we have a problem. And we're going to go spreadsheet app.getUI. We're going to tell them, alert them, oops, you deleted we're going to come back and get the sheet name, but I want to just show you this as it works. The one thing we need to do once we write this function is we need to go over to triggers on the left side, add trigger on the bottom right, choose which function to run. We have multiple functions, so we have to say, oops, you deleted me. From spreadsheet now, the select event type is going to be on change. In other videos, and if you've taken the master spreadsheet automation course, you'll know we use on open, we use on edit. Very rarely do we use on change, and here is where we use on change. Click save, because the change is not the value is being edited in a cell, but rather the structure of the spreadsheet is changing. So let's go and change the structure of the spreadsheet by just adding a sheet. Just add a sheet. Let's go back to our app script. Let's go to execution. We see that oops, deleted me is been run. It's completed. And our info, our information, our change type is insert grid. So adding a new sheet is called insert grid. Let's go and delete that. Delete that. Let's click OK. Oops, you deleted a tab. So it's now telling us that we've deleted a tab. And if you don't see that message, maybe come into executions and look for any errors you may encounter. Maybe there's a misplaced dot. There is weird capitalization. Now you see it's remove grid is our log. It's telling us we've removed grid, and it says the change type was remove grid, and it says, oops, you deleted a tab. What tab? Let's put the name in. Plus sheet name. So let's go back to our sheet. Let's delete sheet 4. We're active on this sheet. We're doing stuff on it. Now we want to delete this tab. Delete it. Click OK. Oops, you deleted a tab. Don't delete me. Wait a hot second. That is not the tab that I deleted. Why is it telling me this? It's because this active sheet is not firing until after we've deleted the sheet. So how do we keep the sheet name of what we're active on? Here we can use a simple function, which is we don't have to add it as a trigger. We can say function on selection change e. Again, that's just the event. That's just a variable that says whatever action we're taking, any data around that we can get. We're going to do variable sheet equals e.source.getActiveSheet, get name. That's just saying whatever active sheet that we're on right now, get the name of it. And we're going to save it as a property service. Property service.get script properties set property. And here we need two things. We need the name of the key that we're going to save it as, last active sheet, comma, and now we're going to put our sheet name. So instead of getting the active sheet here, that we're getting the active sheet after it's been deleted, we're going to get this one that's been saved, this on selection change. So we're just going to say properties service get script properties, the same thing we did up here, but instead of set property, we're going to get property. And instead of putting in the key and the item, we just need the key. We just need this text here that says last active sheet. There, save that. Let's add a new tab. Let's go into this tab and do something. Let's look at our executions. And you can see this on selection change is a simple trigger, and it's been firing off. It's been executed. What is it saving? Let's go and actually give it a log to save. Logger.log. And just see if it is actually saving this. We'll give it a few actions. Go back to executions. There it is. There's the name, sheet 5. So if I delete this, heads up, you're going to delete the sheet. Click OK. So for the purposes of this, we need to get not the last one, but the second to last one. So what we want to do is when we do the on selection change, we want to get the property that was here, save it as another one, and then save the final one. So we're going to get the last active sheet. We're going to call this second to last. And then we're going to save the new. And what we want to do is grab the second to last over here instead of last active sheet. So let's save that all. Let's create a new sheet, sheet 6. Put in some data. Let's go see our execute. Actually, before we do that, let's put some logs here and actually log this after we log the property service. We can do spreadsheet app.flush just to make sure everything's, get the script properties, get property. We want second to last, and let's look at the last active sheet. Let's save that code. Let's edit this a few times, adding some data, switching our selection to here, add some data, and let's go delete this tab. And there we go. Oops, you deleted a tab, sheet 6. That is not the last sheet we're active on, but the one just before that, before it got deleted. If you want to get the script here that we just went over, go down below in the description. You can find this script. But all these triggers are going to be deleted right now. You can just go here, delete trigger, if you don't want this trigger to be triggering at all. Enjoy. You're watching Better Sheets here on YouTube. Make sure you check out this video or this video and subscribe right now to get more tips, tricks, how-tos, get more out of your Google Sheets than you ever have before. I'm excited to be making a ton more videos here. Ask me questions down in the comments and I will answer them in future videos. But for right now, right here, one of these videos is going to be your next Google Sheet.